Peace, everyone. How you doing? Welcome to the podcast. And today's title is Evolution Does Not Contradict the Bible. You agree or disagree on it?
I have to disagree, man.
Okay, science and scripture family meet. I'm scripture, he's science. That's how we're gonna deal with this. How you want to deal with it? You go first, I go first. How you want to set it up?
Hey, man, it doesn't matter. However you want to come at it, I'm with it. Well, you mentioned Adam and Eve earlier, so we could start with that.
Okay, 5 minutes apiece of what type of time you want to agree upon.
Well, never actually did a actual debate podcast with anyone, so I just was gonna just let it flow how it go. But it that sounds more like a mediator that ain't here when you add a time, so that'd be an actual cool thing because no one wants to be
nobody wants to get cut off or whatever, so we give each other 5 minutes to speak.
Okay, well, I probably don't need that long. Let's give me like well, at any point you would like to intervene, then you can do so.
Okay, well, freestyle. Go ahead. You start.
All right. So first contradiction. Biblically, God created man and woman. You know what I'm saying? Eve was born from the rib. Adam was created from dirt. And this is molded by the hands of God. So that's the first creation. As evolution tells, 4.5 billion years ago, you know what I'm saying, it's the age of the earth. And since the beginning of time, there's been some sort of life species that existed, So the Bible doesn't speak on anything before the existence of Adam and Eve. Some testaments contradict other testaments. We can get on that. Where it says the animals was created first, and then Adam and Eve was created first. Then there's one that says Adam and Eve was created first, and then the animal was created first, next. But that's neither here nor there. But that's the major contradiction for me. That's self-explanatory. You got evolution, something evolving from nothing. Just like planting a seed, and the sun hit the dirt, and the water is all throughout the earth. So these things right here, seed evolves into a plant. There are many other scientific proofs of evolution today. With things transitioning into something else.
Well, I would like to speak now. With that said, the earth, no one knows how old it is. They call themselves dealing with the minerals of the earth. And the earth is probably older than what the minerals say. Because it was in water for however many years, no one knows because no one was around. Then it was taken out the water. Then you got to count and start dealing with the time frame. So I don't have no problem with their calculation of the time of the earth. It's a lot of people who have a problem with it because they say, well, we've been here 6,000 years, like the earth is 6,000 years old, but they never deal with the time frame of the earth being in the water. How long was it in the water? So I don't have no problem with that. Now, doing, as you say, the birth of Adam and Eve or the creation of Adam and Eve, the Bible said when he brought forth animals and mankind, he said after their kind. I don't believe no human can go have sex with a pig, goat, or anything that's not human and produce another human or another type of creature, because we don't crossbreed like that. So it's after their kind. So if you can't show me a kind of animal outside of mankind itself that can breed with mankind and create another kind of animal, because a lagger is a lion, which is a cat, and a tiger, which is a cat. They just different type of cats, but they can have sex and create a lagger. a tiger and a lion.
Okay.
But I freeze that.
Okay. Well, let's talk about molding. Have you ever seen any human being molded today out of dirt?
No,
Okay. How about it? You ever seen a woman being created out of a man's rib?
no.
Okay. You know, it's kind of pretty much the same, but the only difference is we have more scientific proof. And I know you can challenge science all day, but unless you are a scientist actually doing the research, actually going through the evidence and the findings or whatever you find, and know what it is that you're actually looking at. You have a trained eye, you have some background to you, unless I step into the shoes of a scientist, I can't really clarify, verify what it is that their thesis is when it comes down to their findings, basically. But I could say this: through science and the sciences that are here, there's proof with my own eyes of things that they've said, things that they've done, things that they've shown, and I wouldn't put it past them saying that they know the corrosion of water, how many years is underneath it, how far down the dirt go, and you could tell the years of the earth, how to slice a tree in half and count the rings and tell the age of a tree. Why would I stop doubting science, or why would I start doubting science if they've already made claims that I've seen to be, the proof in the pudding? And then not only do they say, they show you, they show the proof in the pudding. There's many scientists that document the same thing. Why would they all get together just to tell one big lie? Wouldn't make sense.
So
But
what we talking about now?
we talking about evolution and the belief that the bones are old, the belief that they can't tell how old the earth is when I said it's 4.5 billion years old. And when I'm speaking on things evolving from since that time, and they have scientific proof of the age of skeletons and other species that's been here long outdating humans.
So what I mean, I can't argue that the earth is not that million old. So bones, though, if you can find me a human bones that is old as the earth, I'll argue that. Because you have to trust the scientists. Then I need to know if you are a Darwin person, or you a Bible person, or what you are when you go and do your field study and you study these bones and you study the earth and stuff. Because based off of your belief, it's how you're going to calculate everything you do.
Okay, so here's the thing. You see how you said belief? There's a difference between a belief and knowing. And that's the difference between the two. Because one is a belief system and one is proof, and documented proof. Is what my eyes can see, what my hands can touch and feel. You know what I'm saying? So I document it, and then when I document it, I can give it to somebody else to run the same experiment, and they run back the same thesis, and we get the same thing. So that's the difference and the contradiction to why those two definitely don't coincide with each other.
I mean, I understand that argument has been made by many of people, numerous of people that like to argue science and Bible and stuff. But no matter what you do, you gotta ask the educated question first before you even start doing what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
The educated question is this, and this. All that is based up off of something. And it's all has something to do with those that came before us. What they programmed in our mind to believe to be true, false, evidence, or whatever. So if they say 1 + 1 is 2, then 1 + 1 is 2. But if they say 1 + 1 is 3, then we go off 1 + 1 is 3. even though it's wrong, we going off of what we've been programmed with. So every scientist had a science that came before it and a scientist that came before it. So everybody got a belief system. Even if you believe God ain't real, you believe it. You can't prove God ain't real. Just like I can't go and prove that he is real. I ain't even, that's called vain argument. I'm not a vain argument. I'm not even trying to have that argument. Like the Muslims like to say the earth is so and so or whatever. And like, how did you go out and weigh the earth? I never weighed the earth. I don't even have the ability to weigh the earth. How do you know how much it weighs? I'm not finna do that, but go ahead.
Right, I can feel that. Okay, well, it goes to the title. Is it the contradiction? What's the question? Is evolution in the Bible a contradiction? So if you say, let's get to the bigger question. Once again, I speak of knowing and not believing. So what is the bigger question? The big question is, do we believe any of it? If you ask me, because I'm not a scientific person, I'm a result person. Science just happens to show me results. So I'm about knowing. I'm about knowing the difference between reality and reality. There's a difference, but we don't understand it. And let me show you what I'm talking about. You got this reality, but where do you go when you go to sleep? Even though you're still in this realm, you're somewhere else. You got two realities, two lives in one. So people say you only live once, but that's not the truth. You live twice. You live in this realm and you live when you go to sleep in the same realm you were in before you even came into this world. But when you upload things into your data, into your mind, into your brain, it becomes active. Your computer becomes active. You have information now, things to go off of, things to compute. But in reality, what was these things before they were uploaded into the mainstream of your mind? You see? So we're going to go to the basis of the question is, do we actually believe in any of the writings, whether it be science or religion? There was a question.
I don't believe them until I can prove or disprove. Okay. And I ain't able to disprove supernatural feats. There's natural, then there's supernatural, beyond the natural. And what you're talking about in them two different realms, there's a physical and there's a spiritual. I've never been in the spiritual realm. I don't even go in my mind and dwell in my mind because that's a place I've never dwelt before. And I don't go there and play with that place because that place is a place that's foreign to me. Now, a lot of people like to go play there, but that place is foreign. You don't know nothing about it. Everything you know has been dictated to you by father, mother, auntie, sister, brother, aunt, grandmother, anybody that you have come into relationship with since you've been born. And they dictated what your world was and what your world wanted. Once again, which goes to their beliefs, not even yours. Your beliefs is not even yours. You believe what your mother and your father was already dictated. But
that's the truth. And I know that when you speak, you're talking to those that it applied to. And that did once apply to me. I did believe what my mother believed. Actually, I never knew what the hell my mother believed. I was always somewhere else, with my aunties and, a lot of other people more than actually with my mother. So I never knew what my mother believed. We never spoke about God. And then I just know she didn't believe heavily in that if she did believe in it because she never talked about it. But other than that, I know my dad did. My dad definitely tried to instill it in us. Most of all of my family tried to instill religion. When I say it, I'm speaking of religion. They tried to instill it in us. And it's the same with education, So when you speak of fearing the unknown. As you spoke of being afraid to go into the spiritual world, and some people dabble with it and dabble at it or whatever. Here's the thing: where were you before you came here? See, even then you were afraid. You were afraid to come into this world, but you did it. You know what I'm saying? You did it. You here. So this was also an unknown, but you adapted. And it's going to be the same with death. Everyone has to so-called die, and I hate to call it that because it's actually life. It's actually living. I can't wait to live, not can't wait to die. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead.
So, can you prove that through scientific evidence, or do you believe it through your belief system?
And what is the question?
What you just stated.
Believe what?
What you just stated. I can't repeat everything you stated. I'm a stroke victim. My brain don't go that full.
So I don't have a belief system. And once again, it's about knowing. I know it. So I don't believe anything. I know. I've learned how to know. And people make you seem or try to make you believe that no man can know everything. That's impossible. And that's a good thought. You know why? Because the universe would, if we call it the universe would want us to not get all the information from one person. So something is going to always be flawed. No matter how much you know, no matter even if you knew all, something that you say is going to be flawed. And it will be corrected by someone else. Or maybe even the person who's listening to your message. They might hear everything that you're saying, and it all makes sense until you say this one particular thing, and then they're like, oh, well, he don't know this. Oh, he don't know that. You know what I'm saying? Damn, I thought he was on point with everything, but until he said that, oh, he off balance with that. So that's what makes you seek. You go find, you know. And one thing I say about the human species, excuse me from carrying on, but I believe, and I don't want to say believe because once again, I know. So I got to stop using the human text. Forgive me, contradicting myself. But I know that humans, if they learn first what the brain is, if they learn about anatomy first before they seek any other information, learn about yourself first, then everything else will make sense. You'll be able to decipher everything around you. The code, as they say, is in your DNA. I do believe that because there's a lot of things that I've woken up, or shall I say I know that because I've woken it up in my own DNA. Things that came out of nowhere that I know today. You ever heard once the curtain or the wool gets pulled from over your eyes, there's no going back?
Yeah, once you're enlightened.
It's the same thing. It's like the rabbit hole. Once you fall in, you know, ain't no turning back. It's just a one-way street down. And it, you know, never know how far it goes. But knowing is key. Not guessing. For example, if we want to get to religion, let's talk about the beginning of religion. What was once known as a myth became something that everyone teaches and turned into their lifestyle.
Well, I'm trying to follow, but I'm not a philosopher. I don't deal with philosophy stuff. But
well, I'm not philosophizing either. I'm going to actual facts that's written in the Egyptian walls.
I don't give it authority, so I hear you facts.
ANU. That's it. That's all I gotta say. ANU. So anybody want to search ANU, you go look that up and you'll see why everything is the way that it is and why you believe everything that you believe. So
well, I'm not a vain person. I'm not gonna argue philosophy. Because to me, philosophy is a belief. You believe that philosophy. And there's different types of philosophy.
What philosophy? I believe reality. I believe the knowing. I know what it is. It's almost like knowing. If I sit here and I make a book about a cat made of strawberries, and it's just a book that I'm writing in my own mind, fantasizing about it. I die. 1,000 years later, after I die, somebody else make a book about a dog made of strawberries. But this time they convinced the whole world this dog actually existed. You see what I'm saying? So there is no such thing as hiding the facts that I am the first person who wrote about something called a cat made of strawberries. And y'all gonna sit here and tell me, well, you know, that's a belief, or that's philosophizing or plagiarizing, or, you know, that's, I ain't got it, you know. No, reality is reality. The truth is the truth. I started first. This person stole my story, and now all of y'all believe in it. What the hell am I supposed to say? How am I supposed to dodge that bullet?
Let me speak to that. In human history, there's older people than older people. People call them ancestors. The Egyptians even call them ancestors. And they wrote stuff in their books and tablets and stuff for the future generations, their offspring. And all of us are humans. I can mate with any human being that's a female in this world. She could be a Japanese female. She could be a white female. She could be any kind, because we all humans, meaning we have the same DNA pattern. Just like I was saying, after their kind, I can't mate with no animal and create a child with them. That's what Europeans taught. So we can call it science or whatever we want. We know we can mate with other human beings. That's not a belief. You go get with one and make with her and see if you don't have a child with her, and then it's a mixed child or whatever people call it and stuff.
Okay, but where we going?
We're going off the conversation. So when you say writing the book, you write a book and it's a fictional or non-fictional book. It's based upon what you leave in your offspring. And when you write that book and leave that information, is for your offspring. It's the same thing I was just talking about earlier.
True. I could be writing a book that's a fairy tale, and everybody know it's a fairy tale. There have always been different genres of books. There's never been just all tablets and nothing but written facts of what life was and what we saw. No, people actually told just stories. Simply that. The story of Gilgamesh, a simple story. It's always been known to just be a mythological story. But they turned it into a Noah's Ark story. You see? And it was a real story about a man who brought every animal aboard. Come on, gang. I ain't got to go on. Y'all stealing. It's all plagiarized. Everything is plagiarized. Even the language that we're using to convey these messages to each other is plagiarized.
If we're all family, how are you plagiarizing something that's a family story? How do you plagiarize a family story? If you and your older brother told y'all a story about growing up in the house together, would you say he plagiarizing you or you plagiarizing him? Because both of y'all grew up in the same house with the same parents.
That's not possible. That's not possible.
So where's the plagiarism in what you're saying?
The plagiarism is in everything. It's throughout the text of biblical. It's out the text in biblical terms I'm speaking on. That's what all the plagiarism is. Every story in the book. Well, I won't say every last one of them, but yeah, then every one of them. I don't want to. You know, I like to be certain when I speak. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, close to every story in the Bible is another person's story, and it's been added to the Bible. Just that simple. That ain't nothing hard to say about that. I mean, we can prove that, right? Pull it up. That's plagiarized. That's called plagiarism. If you didn't live this life, ain't no we grew up in the same house. You didn't grow up in the same house with me. You know what I'm saying? So don't write a story about my mama or my brother talking about some, well, it was a story about your life.
I say it's you and your brother. I know you got a brother, and I know y'all got the same story. If y'all grew up in the same household, on the same block, same parents, same house, same room, same everything, when the refrigerator went bad, this and that, and you tell the story and he tell the story, it can't be plagiarism. So far as mankind, we all stayed here on this earth together. You cannot say that I'm not your neighbor. I didn't stay on your block. I didn't. If I did those things, we got the same stories.
No, you didn't do those things. That's the thing, and you don't have the same story. Now, how you gonna claim to be the Messiah if you're not the Messiah? How do you claim to be something someone else claimed to be 3,000 years ago? And then even more people claim in different regions of the world claim the same claim. No, y'all didn't have the same birth sequence. You didn't make the same miracles. You didn't all die for my sins or whatever.
So where we going now? I need to know what specific topic you on and what I'm dealing with, so I can try to address it.
You brought in, if my brother grew up in the same household and he wrote the same story as I wrote, of course, that's different. I never said anything about a brother or a family member. I'm speaking on the world in general. I'm speaking on biblical terminology, biblical books, scriptures, they call it.
I figured
speaking on events that outdated.
So you saying the Bible stole from Egypt or wherever they stole it from? That ain't their story.
Of course, that's exactly what I'm speaking on.
Who's to say that? How could you prove it?
The text says that. There are books that outdate the Bible.
You say you know things. I need to know what you know by evidence.
All right, once again, Anu, A-N-U. Look up Anu. And you can see who Anu is.
You looking it up?
Oh, yeah, I could look it up. Definitely. That's what I'm... hold on, go back. Real simple. Real simple.
So what about?
All right. So the oldest known gods. Some of the oldest named deities come from ancient Sumer in Mesopotamia. Modern Iraq include Anu, which is the very first name that I named, Enlil, Enki, and Anna.
So now we're dealing with the gods?
Yes, these gods were worshipped thousands of years before Christianity.
And it's many of gods out there. It's many fallen angels out there.
Oh, okay. So you're proving my point. My point exactly.
And there's some supreme God in all God cultures.
And that's good. That's good that you know. So why believe in the
Bible? Or whatever you got. There's supreme gods over the other gods. So I would say there are supreme angels over other angels, because people are worshiping angels thinking they're worshiping God. But go ahead.
So why believe in the biblical text is all I'm saying.
Because you got to believe in something.
No. See, now that's a messed up way of thinking.
It's my philosophy, though. We up here philosophizing. I can't philosophize.
Let me rephrase that. Slave way of thinking. You know what I'm saying? Believe, that word. That's messed up. Break down the origin of the word believe. And what did you have?
I'm not a vain argument. I'm not going to argue that, though. I don't care about that, because it don't have nothing to do with the next step of evolution itself. But you either believe, or whatever. And if you show me, then I say, oh, now I know that. But I'm different of it.
You said that you fear the unknown, though. See, I don't fear the unknown. See the difference? See,
I fear being ignorant. So just like you want evidence to know something, I want to know too. So we sitting up here talking, and like I said, I'm not a vain person. I'm not going to argue something that don't need to be argued. It don't even matter to even spend time on that. That's called vanity. I'm not a vain person, so I'm not going to do that. But go ahead.
You good?
Follow the conversation.
You good, Iron Man? You know what I'm saying? Hey, this world is meant for only a certain percentage of people to understand what this is all about. Because imagine me hypnotizing you. Imagine me programming you. You know, if I spend years of programming you, your family, your ancestors, the ones who came before them, you know, I got this down to a science, my guy. I got this down to a skill. You see? So for somebody to unlock my programming, it's gonna take a bad mother. Shut your mouth. You know what I'm saying?
I'm trying to follow the conversation. You're
No,
not even laying your program down in a
and keep
order so I can deal with it.
following. Just hear me out. I'm breaking it down to you. It's meant for us not to know anything, is what I just got through saying. So when I hear someone speaking to me that doesn't know what it is that I know, I don't look at a person like, oh man, you unknowledgeable, oh man, you this and that. And I'm not trying to argue with anybody either. Or there is no need for the debate. I can talk about anything a person want to talk about. So just like you said in the beginning of the conversation, well, what's the real question? Which is what made me lead to the real question is, what are we? Do we actually believe in anything that's been taught to us? Because everyone looks on the outside for information, but nobody looks within for information. See, because all the information you need is within self. What would you do if there were no humans around on the planet?
I believe in looking at self. That's why I don't let nobody else dictate to me anything, because I don't look at the external. I look in the internal.
Well,
so I'm with that. I'm with it. The mindset you in, I feel the mindset. But like I said, we're talking, and your mindset is going a little over here, a little over there. It the straight path. I'm trying to stay on the straight path.
I'm just trying to follow you. You know, sometimes you go somewhere else and I'm like, okay, I never said that. I never spoke about my brother having the same story with me and none of that. All I spoke about was ancient texts biting. The new text biting ancient text. You know what I'm saying?
That's and my simple saying about that was, if we family and you telling the family story, then I tell the family story. How the hell you gonna get mad at me for telling our story when I ain't mad at you for telling our story and say, well, you plagiarism, you bite my story? What? It's our story. What you talking about?
It's not our story. It is not our story, bro. You not finna take. If I wrote something, once again, if you wrote a story about your life and everything you went through, detail by detail, and you went on my page and I literally copied and pasted and said, this is what I went through. Let me tell y'all something about my life. And it describes things that I ain't never went through, because I couldn't go through it unless I was you. And you would know that. You see? So I don't know how you would say, well, that's cool. My story is his story. That's amazing. And then let's make it even better. Everybody run to my story as if it hit them somewhere, but yours didn't. They ignored your story. They came straight to mine, the one that I stole from you.
Well, let's deal with that. Let's deal with that. What you really saying is, you're talking about human history. You're a human, I'm a human, and every other human being on this planet is a human. Now, if we stand on the same block at the same time, and I'm telling the story about the block, then me and you staying on the same block. You can't say we ain't got the same story, or we didn't witness the same thing at the same time. So if you witness a flood and I witness a flood, and I'm telling it from my perspective and you telling it from your perspective, the fact is there was a flood, because you got a story about the flood and I got the story about the flood, because we stayed at the same time. Do you know who won the championship in 2026? Because you stay in 2026 and I stay in 2026, and they broadcast it on the news. Everybody seen it. So you can't say, if somebody started talking about the next championship in that story, that ain't a part of my story. I wasn't sitting so-and-so place at so-and-so time watching the same event you was watching. And you saying it don't make sense because they didn't have TV. There's no way possible that they could see the same thing at the same time. If the whole earth was flooded, my block was flooded, your block was flooded, we went through the same thing. But go ahead.
Is my camera blocked out, gang? Do you see my camera?
No, I see your camera, I see your TV in the back and everything. What we trying to see, what you need me to see?
Nah, because on my screen it's just a little slit showing in there, and I can't see it. But it don't matter. I just want to know that I was being broadcasted right. But anyway, okay. So once again, we're not talking about that.
What we talking about? Be Pacific.
I was Pacific. I keep being Pacific, and you're venturing off somewhere else. You're saying I'm on the same block, or you're saying I'm in the same household. I'm saying we wasn't on the same block. We wasn't in the same house. I'm saying we ain't even in the same time frame, and you stole my story and act like it's your story.
Be Pacific. Who's stealing? Who you talking about? You saying you and this and that? Say, the Israelites stole the Egyptian stuff, wrote it in the Israelite book, and in one day story, they stole our SHIT, and this is what they did, and this is how they did it. So I can understand exactly what you're saying. You speaking in riddles, I understand riddles too, but if I speak back in the riddle, you may not understand my riddle and say you talking about we stand on the same block at the same time. What the hell you talking about? So let's be specific on who we talking about. Stole who, what, where, when, where, how, and everything else.
Well then, calm down, gang, because I'm being specific. There are no riddles in my language. I don't speak in lines, or I don't speak in riddles. I speak direct. You're just not hearing me. For the last time, I'm gonna tell you, I'm speaking about biblical texts. Biblical texts. They stole everything in the Bible from ancient texts. See what I'm saying? Text that outdates the Bible. So if you want to be more specific, let's talk about Christ. Christ got his story from a numerous amount of different messiahs before him. You see what I'm saying? So that's one example of what I'm talking about. Stealing a story from someone, or a story from somebody else is called plagiarizing. You plagiarized my story. The Bible is full of plagiarism, is what I'm saying. It's not about me and Jesus on the same block. It's about he lived in a whole different time frame from me, and I'm about to steal his fucking story and say that I'm fucking Jesus. That's what I'm talking about. How much more clearer can I get than that?
So where you getting this information from? Because I know it's been people out there arguing this for a while, and they this, that, and that. Where's the evidence of what you're talking about? Because the Bible say Christ was here before anything.
The evidence is in the palm of my hands, just like it's in yours. I don't have to pull up a book. I don't have to actually name a book. I can just tell you, like everybody else in this whole entire world, you got a library in the palm of your hand. Every single book is in the palm of your hand. So if you want to get to the evidence, we can pull that up right now. We can pull it up. Matter of fact, we got ChatGPT.
You need to prove it to the people.
See what the artificial intelligence think about it.
You need to pull it up and show the people, prove it to the people. Because I'm hearing you and I'm just asking what the evidence said. Because if you don't show the evidence.
Hold on. All right, watch this. Watch this. Let me hook you on up. Since that's where we at with it. Let's get this evidence. Let's get the receipts for you, my guy. Now, once again, you could pull all of this up too. You could do the same exact thing.
That's why we got GPT and artificial intelligence.
You ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
I'm gonna start with the Egyptian god Horus, Horus, before 2000 BCE. That means that's 2,000 years before Christ era.
Okay, hold up. We're gonna go. So if we go to 1 John, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. In the beginning, before there was even a horse, before his father even shot him in his mother, and he came out his sperm, there was a Christ with God in the beginning. Huh?
What was the Word?
It was Christ.
That was the Word, Christ, CHIRST.
Logos, the Word. I mean,
well, Christ is the title. It means the anointed one, like Messiah. Same thing.
What's understood need not be explained. I know this. You know this. Why we even talking about it?
Wait a minute. You just said in the beginning it was Christ.
In the beginning was the Word. And the Word was with God.
No, that's not what you just said. I asked you what was the word.
How in the world are you going to tell me that I don't know what I said? I had a stroke, but I just said it. I quoted the scripture to be exact. Matter of fact, I don't even want to quote it no more. Let me read the scripture.
Calm down, gang. Calm down. You had a stroke, remember?
May I read the scripture?
I'm not trying to rattle you.
May I read the scripture?
I'm not trying to rattle you. All I'm trying to say is, you just said the word. I asked you. You said in the beginning was the word. I asked you what was the. Hold on. I asked you what
I said in the past. I'm trying to put a foundation now, so you can speak from the foundation now.
In the beginning was the word.
In the beginning, go ahead.
In the beginning was the word. What is the word? What word was it?
I just told you it was Christ.
So the first word that ever was spoken was Christ, or the word was Christ.
Do you need an utterance, or do you just need the understanding?
Anointed one.
Do you need a breaking down of it, or do you need to understand there was God and there was something called the Word with him? I don't give a F what it is that was with him that was called the Word. There's God in the Word. There's two beings, God and the Word.
The Word. I'm just trying to figure out, why didn't he tell us what the Word was?
Because you either know or you don't know. You said, I'd like to know, and I want evidence. Either you know or you don't know. Either you know or you don't know. You don't know what the word is? Go to 14. It says in 14, and the Word was made flesh and dwelled amongst us. And we beheld his glory, the glory as the only begotten of the Father. So you got a Father, you got a Son. And the Word was the Son that was with the Father.
Wait. That's not what you just said. You just said the Word.
What I said. I just read it.
Bro, are we gonna? I'm not debating you. I'm only asking the questions. Calm down.
Go ahead.
Calm down. You said the Word was the flesh. See, I'm taking in everything that you say, and I'm receiving it. So you can't be mad that I'm receiving what you're pushing out. If the Word was the flesh, if the Word was the flesh,
again. Let me read it again.
We out.
Just quote what I said. You want evidence? Do you want to know what I just read, or you just want to put it out there?
If you want to give me evidence, it's not going to work with you talking to me like
that. And the Word was made flesh. When did I read? And the Word was flesh. And the Word was made flesh. That's how it reads in 1 John chapter 1 and 14.
And I didn't say nothing about that. Calm down, gang.
So was it made flesh or was it flesh? Which one? Was it made flesh or was it flesh?
You telling me. I'm asking you the questions about your book.
What you heard. What did you take in? Was it made? Let me read it again. And the Word was made flesh. Or did I read and the Word was flesh?
You tell me. What is it?
The two make it's a sentence. It's grammatical stuff. And based upon how it's grammatically written, deals with your brain.
Okay. So what I heard was the Word is flesh. The Word is the flesh. That's what you said to me.
Okay.
So I wanted to reflect on that, but you kept going. That's all.
I'll be quiet.
I mean, you good. I'm just trying to figure out what the hell is. Are we the? That means that we're the Word. That's what I was gonna say. That means that we are the Word. If the Word is the flesh, that means we are the Word. Humans are the Word. See, because let me show you something about the book and about man or men or human, right? The thing about man is we got these attributes that we ask questions. We want to know. We get stuck in the knowing. See what I'm saying? So things just is. And has always been. Flesh. The word. If I was, and I ain't gonna say if I was, but I'm sorry. The God in heaven should have made this book for me to translate it. He should have made it to what, because I'm a man. Let me break that down again. And let me show you what that means when I say a man. A man is never supposed to go to another man to learn anything. Now, to share information is a cool thing, but to try to learn from a man and go seek knowledge from a man, only thing a man's supposed to do is be able to lead you to where it's at, where the information at, and bag the fuck off. A man is only supposed to teach children and women. It's demasculating for another man to go to another man to receive information. So if the book was supposed to be the book, God was supposed to make that to me as a man can receive it the way he want me to receive it without having to use an interpreter or a translator. I shouldn't need that. This should be simple enough for me to understand it. You see what I'm saying? So since it's not, I'm not going to allow somebody to tell me what it means when I got my own brain and I learned the definition just like you learned it, and I can read and I can comprehend and I can summarize. What the fuck do I need you for? I don't need you to twist it around and tell me what he was trying to say was in this part. No. Because what I learned is everything that he say good, he ain't never speaking in riddles. He's speaking plain good. But anything he say bad, it's always in riddles. It's always, no, he ain't mean it like that. It's no, why this part gotta mean he ain't mean it like that? I'm gonna perceive it the way it's written. And I don't need anyone else to tell me or translate something as me being a man can't do on my own. You know what I'm saying? Because to me, the whole book is built on homosexuality. Everything about the book is against women. And it's just the big ass sausage fest. You know what I'm saying? And anybody that I see that's really truly into God, every man that I see, be soft as hell. You know what I'm saying? They ain't got no balls.
Hold up, I'm a man of God and I got King Kong monkey nuts. I get out here and shit on any and everybody. I put my life on the line. I ain't no pussy ass nigga. I don't know what you know about a man of God. It sounds like you've been dealing with a lot of false ass prophets out here perpetrating to be men of God. You seen them and said, that ain't no fucking man of God.
Talk to me. Don't talk against me, man. Talk to me.
I'm talking to you.
That's what I'm here. I'm just down how I feel. Don't get mad.
So I used to be the same way. I used to have a church 2 houses down from me. And I used to say, I can't go down there. It's hypocrites down there. We was out shit trying to sex people and shoot dice and shit Saturday night. What the hell doing?
Right.
So I couldn't look up to them as being a God. No, you lying ass hypocrite. I can't F what you effing with. I never dealt with the church until I was 19 and picked up the Bible and had to learn for myself. It was some means to guide me along, but even they was trying to mislead me, and I was like, because like the Hebrew Israelite thing, people, oh, you used to be the Hebrew? No, I used to go to a Hebrew Israelite church that I didn't know was a Hebrew Israelite church. I thought they was Bible Christians. Till one day they were saying the biggest secret in the world is we Hebrew Israelites. I said, oh shit.
They took a piece out the Bible and named themselves. That's what they did.
And so the man was trying to get me. We got to clean the Hebrew Israelite name up. I can't clean no fucking lie up. Nah, it's all good. See you later. I can't do it.
Nope. It's all cults, man. All cultivated.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I told you everything you saying, I can live it. I didn't follow no other man. I look within.
That's right. That's right. That's what
you're supposed to look at that, because without it, I know it's a bunch of bull crap, but when I know what's in me, it's some very standing up stuff. I gotta stand on it. I gotta die for it. It's Malcolm X said you gotta find Well, no, it was a Tupac said with his mother. You got to find something to live for, something to die for. And I choose what I live and die for.
Unless you got kids, that's supposed to be yourself and nobody else.
Yeah.
Your own parents wouldn't want you to die for them, even though we'll put our own life on the line for them, but they wouldn't want that. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So like you said, you got to be wise and know, because everybody is their own celestial being. You came in this joint by yourself, you're gonna leave by yourself. You can't be your brother, your mother, your sister, and your family, even your kids. Everyone is temporary. You know, they ain't even your real family.
Because if I'm looking for God, I don't look up there. You know why? Why I look, he dwells within. Why I'm looking at heaven? Yeah, he's supposed to be dwelling in me. I need to look within myself.
Exactly. I agree. I definitely agree. Because it's all within. Nothing is on the outside is anything for you. I go back to when I was an infant. Every single night, I go back to the original me, which most people can't do. You see? So to fear the unknown, it's never been an unknown. Once you go back, you'll remember it like it was yesterday. Be like, oh my God, I remember this space. You know what I'm saying? Before I got pulled into the light, I was resonating in the darkness, in the quiet, in the somber, in the peace. Light is chaotic, it's blinding, you know? And that's where we at now. We entered the light and we're all blind. We've been blinded by the light. Blinded by the light. Yeah, I got a few vocals I could throw at that. You know?
Yes, but I would say all of this to me is a philosophy. I hear it.
No, it's not a philosophy, it's reality. But at the same time, it is philosophy, because that is the definition that they gave it. But I don't look at it that way. I don't define things as defined, because when you say deaf, it's exactly what it is. It means to not be able to hear. So the words that I'm speaking to you, you can't even hear them, whether you think you can hear them or not. You're deaf because the definition says so.
It's a nice philosophy.
It's a nice reality. So we want to philosophize. Let's get on the birth sequence. How do we come into the world? Why do we come into the world? And let's better make it, what's the lie about our birth sequence? Birth. Why did they name it birth? B-I-R-T-H. What is a birth?
You want to deal with the birth canal, the river, the ocean, the water, and all of that? I don't know what you want to deal with.
But you just said it. You just said it. You hit it on the head. You see what I'm saying? It's all about the merit system, the water. You see, we ain't nothing but merit. We're water. We came on a birth, B-E-R-T-H, not B-I-R-T-H, a ship loading goods that's preparing to be docked. You see what I'm saying? What's the ship? Your mother is the ship. What are the goods? You are the goods that's on the ship. What is the dock? The doctor is the dock. The dock is the doctor that's going to deliver your ore. So you got a ship carrying goods that's prepared to be docked, which is a birth, B-E-R-T-H. But somehow they gave it another word and called it B-I-R-T-H. And we all become accustomed to that word and call it childbirth, not knowing that it's part of the merit system.
They're wizards.
We all are wizards.
They're wizards.
The moment we went to school and got indoctrinated into spelling, because there's only one word for every there's only one definition for every word in the world, but they taught you that there were 2 or 3 definitions. No, that's not true. It's only one. See, so when you say deaf Venetian, that's exactly what it is. Our language came from the Venetian people. You see what I'm saying? That's why we speak English today, because we got our language from the Venetians. And they turned it into deaf Venetian, then later came definition. You say letters. Letters is something you climb. It's not nothing that you write.
Ladders or letters?
It's no such thing. You're saying the same thing.
Pronunciation.
Yeah, you can pronounce it all you want to, but guess what? The waves in front of you don't see it no other way but the way that you say it.
You talking about the vocal waves?
Yeah, the waves that carry around the whole world, not the vocal waves, the transmitting waves, the radio waves, the satellite waves, the what you call it? Damn it. See, this is what getting fried do. All the waves that exist in the planet. There are waves around you that our eyes can't see, but each time I say a word, it goes into those waves like a radio track or like a record player. It's like my words go onto the record player and it travels.
I comprehend. I'm still listening.
So whenever I speak, I'm speaking it into the waves, and they carry. So that's why we have to be careful what we say to each other or how we address each other, because we're casting what we speak like a spell. That's why your television is called a programming system, because it's made to program you, and they broadly cast spells through it. That's why it's called broadcasting. When you went to school, they taught you how to spell, spell. The same thing has been since the beginning of time, which means to do incantations. Why did you later on give it the term something that you pronunciate words with? Letters, like I said, is something to climb. The things that they call letters are symbols. A, B, C, all symbols. Those are not letters, they're symbols. They've always been symbols. With the A being the pyramid, that's clear to see. B being the bosoms of a woman, that's clear to see. C, the crescent moon. So you got the alpha and the beta, the male and the female. Because the A is also the phallus, the penis. C, crescent for the moon that we worship. D for the dome that we in. And of course, E for earth.
I'm not totally ignorant of this stuff, but go ahead.
I mean, I don't believe you are. This is for the viewers. You know?
I'm speaking it, so it's like, yeah, y'all, I'm listening to them, but y'all need to be listening too.
But the thing is, like I said, is to learn about self first. Who am I, and why was I taught everything that I was taught? Why do I question everything, and why should I not question everything? You know, is there a such thing as knowing? Is there a such thing as doing things that anyone else hasn't done already on this planet Earth? One thing that I do know for certain is not enough people are meditating. Not enough people are learning about breathing and the anatomy of their body, their brain, the nervous system.
Are you getting us into the chakras and stuff now?
You see what I'm saying? Because the nervous system is everything. This is what controls the world around you. Because I can't die, and neither can you. See, you can die, but I can't die. I can die, but you can't. See, let me show you what I mean by that. In my own world, and it's not philosophizing, in my own world where I live, do you know how many times I passed away? Same with you. You know how many times you got hit by that car?
I pass away every night.
I'm talking about that. I'm talking about when you almost dodged that bullet. When you almost survived that car crash. See, you right here, right now, you think you survived. You didn't survive, bro. As soon as that happened, you snapped right out of your body and popped into the you that did survive. You can never experience your own death.
I ain't in no multiverse, man.
But see, you want to know? I want you to seek what I'm saying. Don't just listen to me, go find it. I'm just putting it out there and letting you know that it exists.
I ain't in no multiverse.
Learn about you before you learn about anything else. Learn about your brain. Learn about what you can do. Why do you breathe? What is breathing? What is this we in? Why do we call it oxygen when it's water? We underwater right now. Do a fish see water?
I don't know. I ain't fish.
Do you see water?
I see water.
Do you see air?
If I go to the riverbank, I see water.
Do you see air?
No, I don't see it.
Does the fish see air?
I don't think so.
Why would it not?
It's in the water. It don't see the
You don't
water.
look
It's in the
at
water.
that air and say, I can't go up inside of that.
I need the thoughts.
I'm just saying, let that fund in your brain for a minute. Maybe overnight. It ain't got to be right now. Just think on it later on tonight. I would love to hear what you come up with.
What was the question again to make sure I heard it?
Fish see water, and can the fish see air? As above, so below. We in water right now.
I ain't never to argue that. I would agree. It's
Yeah.
water above us, it's water below us, it's water right here.
Exactly. The water is just so thin that you can breathe it. It's so thin you can't float in it. It's so thin that it's almost like a gas, and we call it oxygen. But it's actually water. What is water? Why is it called water? Because it's electricity. It's watts. That's why it flows like a current. Currents, electrical currents. It's all the same thing. The merit system is the same thing as the electrical system. Water and electricity are the same exact thing. All of it is energy. Same as us, same as we are. We're just energy. So seeing what my mind at, it's very small sometimes when I have to go all the way backwards, years away, and have conversations about something as tiny and minute as religion. Like I've been past that. That's so far gone, and for the believers who still believe in that, one day you will excel, because anything in the dark shall come to the light and expose itself, right? So that's the way I see it. I don't have to try to get someone's mind to go here. Like all I did was say anew. Once I say anew, that should throw everybody. Let me see what the hell he's talking about. And then you would see the very first creation and the very first story of how every other God bit off of this, every other Messiah bit off of these stories, and the sun gods, and all of it is sun god. Helios Bibliosis. That means Holy Bible, which translates into sun god. I mean, sun book. Sorry, sun book.
So,
Bibliosis. A lot of people say basic instructions before leaving Earth, and
the citizen stuff.
But let's go to the real meaning, the Hebrew meaning, the old text. Helios Bibliosis means sun book, and every single deity is a sun god. You can't find a god right now that anybody worships that doesn't have a sun behind their head.
Quick question though. Where do we all get this from?
We got it from astrology.
Okay, it's all good. Where did they steal it from?
Who is they?
Where did they plagiarize it from? The people that give it to us, that's the they. They didn't give it to us, went and got it from somewhere, plagiarized it, and brought it to us.
Right. They plagiarized it from Anu, Enki, Enlil, Horus, Seth, even mythology, Perseus, Zeus, Hades, you know what I'm saying? All of these mythical folklore stories that's known to be stories and myths since the beginning of time has now become an actual religion and a belief system where people get on their knees like peasants and put their hands together and beg and offer their spirit and their soul to an unknown entity that they can't see and say, I give you myself because I can't walk by myself. I can't do it. I need you to take my legs and walk for me. I need you to take my mouth and speak for me. That's type of surrender is deadly and scary.
That's Europeans teaching ignorant folks that though, right? People that look to the European for their understanding. People that don't look within themselves to find what they're looking for.
Exactly. I asked somebody, I say, what would you do if Jesus came down right now? What would you say to him? You know what I'm saying? Would you ask him anything? And you know what they said? No, I wouldn't ask him nothing. I say, what would you do? He He said, "I kiss his feet." Kiss his feet. What would make you want to get down on your knees and kiss the feet of another man? I don't understand that. You are a fucking man. I wouldn't want nobody kissing my fucking feet. I don't care what video. If I made a video game and the characters came to life, or I somehow was able to come in there and say, "I created you guys," I don't want them to kiss my feet. I want them to keep playing the fucking game. I don't want them to worship me. None of that shit. I made the game. Why the fuck would I make a game for the game to worship me? Don't make sense.
Keep going.
You funny, guy. He say, "Keep going." Hell, God, you funny. Iron sharpens.
When I have an argument, I will be arguing, but I ain't got no argument. I ain't got nothing to argue.
That's good. That means, something is correlating.
No, a lot of stuff I deal with, other people don't deal with. That's why I don't deal with other people. I'm talking to you, and I'm dealing with you, and I'm hearing what you're saying, and it ain't like I got a big protest against what you're saying. Now, I'm not finna go meditate. I'm not finna go worship no other God and do all that, but I can hear what you're saying, and I can hear it clearly.
Well, have you ever had a lucid dream before?
I don't dream. I ain't dreamed since I was a youngster. I've had plenty of nightmares, don't believe. Real life and sleep ones and everything else. Nightmares is a thing that I...
We got to get back to dreaming. It's almost like losing your imaginary friend. I watch a movie, something about imaginary friends, pretty good. It was a child's movie, don't get me wrong, But anyway, it's about you see something that changes you for the rest of your life, and it makes you mature before you need to. So that's what I mean by losing your imaginary friend. Because once you see something or do something that's a little adultish, you never go back to the child you once was.
Well, death done did that for me. I done lost family members to death and stuff that changed my life forever.
Well, I remained a child for a long time, and I'm not afraid to say that. It took me a long time to actually mature into an adult man. I was, when I was in 8th grade, people thought that I made triples. People thought that I was in 4th grade and somehow made it all the way to here. And I've done that throughout my whole entire life. Every classroom I went in, every kid looked at me like, "What the hell are you doing here?" You know what I'm saying? And high school was even more terrible, It was the worst because it's like I looked like I was 10 in high school. So, with that, I wasn't focused on what normal high schoolers are focused on, and I was the age of their age. And that allowed me to stay humble for years and years. On top of that, I'm the only Michael Jackson in the world, and I know that's a major claim to make. But I have never met a person with my heart. And it don't go with, I can sing like Michael, I can dance like Michael, because I can do all of that too. But he was all I knew when I was a kid. I didn't watch anything on TV. I didn't listen to music. I didn't listen to no other music but Mike. I can understand no other music but his. So coming into this world and having somebody like that, that's brainwashing. That was a program, and he programmed me. But I'm glad that he did in such a way, because I see how unique I am more than any other individual. I could listen to people. I don't have to get all rowdy and all of that. You know what I'm saying? And I understand who I am. I've always been peaceful and loving to people and animals. And, I stopped killing insects and shit. I done start picking them up and throwing them outside if I found them in my house. All kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? So to be in a world that's so chaotic for somebody like me, I have to adapt to that shit. It's like Michael Jackson never leaving Gary, and I so happen to be in Gary right now, So it's like, what if Michael never left Gary? You think he'd have still been the nice and kind person he was? It might have still been in his heart, but I think he'd have been a little bit more rugged, like how I am right now. Still the heart is still there, but look at me, chains on and curse a little bit. And, you know what I'm saying? I'm the Mike if he'd have never left Gary. So with that, I had to understand the world that I'm in, man. Why am I so loving and no one else is? Why is everybody teaching me that you can't be like that? You can't expect everybody to like you and love you, and people gonna hate you just for hating you reasons and this and that. And I'm like, why? I was always questioning it as a kid, but I ain't done nothing. And it's just the world we live in. You will see
You're not Michael Jackson, you're Peter Pan.
Peter Pan. I'll take that.
That's who Michael Jackson was. He was Peter Pan. I don't want to grow up. I want to be a Toys R Us kid.
But with that, I'm not aging. I noticed that I'm not aging, and to be like that, you know what I'm saying? I'm almost 50 years old, gang.
One more year, I'll be there.
You see what I'm saying? What the hell, bro? So through all of that I went through, it taught me that I'm glad that I'm not like everybody else, because I believe they kept me from aging. You know what I'm saying? I believe my heart and being so kind, because I give so much to everybody, but can't get nothing back from nobody. You know what I'm saying? I give all the money to, when I see homeless people, I had to learn how to say fucking no, bro. Because they was raping me every time. One day I snapped. I say, look, let me tell you something. I say, when you see me, don't I give you $1? Sometimes you ain't even got to ask me. You know what I'm saying? I just give it to you because I know you out here and this and that. I say, but you can't ask me every time. It's a whole world out here. You need to make your rounds. Don't you got family and friends? Make your rounds to them too, and the rest of the world, before you come back to me. You shouldn't even make it back to me. You got to think like that, because I think like that. I could never ask nobody for something more than once, because how you gonna look at me? That's demeaning to myself. You see? So I can't ask nobody for shit. I can't remember the last time I asked somebody, and I need shit. That don't mean that I'm doing so well, but guess what? I don't let the same problems that everybody else let affect them affect me. See, I can be behind on my bills, my rent, my car note, all of that, and I never miss a piece of sleep. You know what I'm saying? I never worried about it. I think about it, it's there, but I never be like, man, what I'm gonna do? Oh my God, bro. I let that it's back in my head. I just live every day by day. Don't even think about no problems. And guess what? They all get solved. They all get solved. It's like I just know within that it's gonna get solved. I don't think about any of that. You know? So with that, you start eating healthy. The more you know, the more you start taking care of yourself. That's why I say anatomy should be the first thing people study. Learn about yourself first, who you are and what you are, and how long you're trying to be on this planet. Because you eating foul, you know, everybody's eating dead. Everybody's stomach is a cemetery. Yeah, and I don't know how you live with your stomach just being a cemetery. You know, so you're supposed to bury the dead, not eat it. So they convinced us to eat the dead. And when we are cultivating culture, we taught them how to cultivate, and they took advantage of that, packaged all our shit up, took our farms from us, packaged it up, and turned it into commissary, and told us we got to work in order to buy it. You know what I'm saying? So then, not only that, they took over the farmlands and made it theirs. Now, you hear about farmers, and the first thing you think of is a white man. You see?
Well, like I said, they're wizards, and they got us in their spell.
Of course. And guess what? We passing the spell on to each generation. As we have kids, we teach them the same thing. We let them watch the TVs. We put these phones in their hand and let them do whatever they want to do. So we just giving our kids up. Well, we been gave our kids up as soon as we signed the bond slip, the birth certificate.
I hear what you're saying. I'll do that. It's a TV right there. Only thing hooked up to that TV is that video game. I ain't played the video game all year, so the TV. Matter of fact, both of them unplugged, the video game and the TV, because I need to save on my energy.
And I got a TV too. And only thing I do with my TV and my computer is inform myself. Other than that, I work and do commercials and music videos and stuff like that. But other than that, it's all about being informative.
Yeah.
It's always something new to learn or pick up on, catch out what's going on.
I hear shopping line.
But guess what? I mean, I know I'm throwing a lot of conversations. We need to save some of these for some more podcasts, because I got a lot to share. You know what I'm saying? I definitely love to get on the 2029, what's to come in 2029 to 2030 about the nanobots. You know, what's your take on that? You know, and if you ain't seen it yet, this will give you a chance to go review it and then we can come back and holler at it, chat about it. But yeah, it's a lot of stuff coming up. No one speaks song. You know, AI has advanced to the way that it has advanced, and you know, it's pretty much nothing we can do about what's to come. The poles are shifting. No one speaks on that. This is the age of enlightenment. No one speaks on that. The age of information. And it's got to be true because what? Look at what we're talking about. I got all this information in the palm of my hand. Any question, anything you ask, I can pull it up and find it and find different texts, different sources, not just one source.
You
Not
see
just,
that's a problem, though? I
huh?
see it somewhat else that's a problem.
Yes, it's a problem. But once I said, what can you do about it? Is it a problem? No, it's not a problem. What am I?
Too much information.
Huh?
You can have too much information. Too much information overloads your computer. If I got too many things open, I can't close them. I can't cut the sound off because I can't get to it because the computer reading all these programs. And when I try to get to that one program and turn it off, I'm like, I'm just gonna turn the whole damn computer off and start back over.
You know what you do? You throw some stuff into the recycle bin, trash it, then do a disk defrag. You know what I'm saying? No, do a disk cleanup and then do a disk defrag. So this is what you do. The same thing you do to your brain. Same thing you do to the computer. Save more space to bring in new and better information. So start deleting
the whole computer at times. I just take everything off and just start reloading it again.
That's what you do. Reboot your whole brain. Reboot the whole system. Start from scratch.
Yeah, I mean, it's ways to deal with stuff and everything. But like I said, most of the time, I know these things. I deal with these things because I look within myself. I had to tear a computer up to learn how a computer works. Before then, I was ignorant of computers. We had Apple computers in school, and I typed a little bit, but I was totally ignorant of computers. So I had to get one and tear one up to learn how it worked.
Yep.
Self-taught.
Bye, buddy.
What are we do? We've been here over an hour.
Oh yeah, we could definitely close out the session, man. It's been great. Like I said, we could save some more for another conversation. You know, we wrapped up the title.
And we gonna lay it out and build up on the layout and step on the bricks that's laid and not put no new bricks until we get to certain bricks. And then conversation though. Like I said, most of this stuff I know of and heard of. Just it's hard to find people to talk to about it.
We were supposed to get on Lilith, and I never the story of Lilith that nobody know about as far as the Adam and Eve go. You know what I'm saying? Where the demons come from. You know, people don't even
know everything is mythology. All this stuff is old stories. I mean, you ever seen True Blood?
Yeah, I seen True Blood.
They had a Lilith on that, didn't
they? Yeah, I know. They had a Lilith on Lucifer. They got a show called Lucifer.
Yeah, I done seen that too, but I don't watch it. I done seen it though. I seen they got a Lilith. Because the thing is, they always bringing back their old stuff because there's a statement. It's nothing new under the earth. Some things can be new, but everything recycled.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but none of it is true though, man. All of it is folklore. Every last drop of it, every single text you've ever read in your life is folklore. It's not real. None of it. Not a single drop, sip, drip, ounce.
Why you think that stuff is happening in the movies? They have no new stories to tell. They telling old stories. They just put new name on the characters and this and that.
Yep, you ain't lying.
That's why Marvel stayed.
The duality of good and evil has been something for years, bro. Years. Light and day. Years. This goes all the way back. Way back. Do you know how old? Well, I ain't gonna get on do you know. I hate to ask questions. But our native or indigenous people, or the Moors, whatever you want to call us, are 300,000 years old. Do you know how old the Caucasus people are?
Nah, just stated, man.
These motherfuckers is 4,500 years old. We 300,000. They 4,000. They ain't even a fraction of
Yeah, it's time to close this show. You finna get.
Yeah, I'll go in, bro. You need to close it.
All right, peace.
That's for another conversation.
Then hopefully y'all understood what we was talking about. Come back, we will be talking again. This is one of the conscious community people, not that conscious community, but the Israelite Christian conscious community. And he don't like the Israelite Christian like that. He think they thieves. He think they thieves.
Yes, sir.
So we're gonna talk about it. Peace.
Peace.
Leave a comment.